What's up, guys? I temporarily put my drill press up here in the corner, and by temporary it's probably been almost 2 years, and it's just not in a good spot, but I'm looking around at all these plywood offcuts I have, thinking we can make good use of that and get a stand made. I do have full build plans available for this that are linked down in the video description, and I sized it so it'd be pretty universal and fit all sorts of benchtop tools like sanders, lunchbox style planers, and of course drill presses like in my case. And we're looking at less than a full sheet of 3/4 inch plywood here to build this, so not too shabby if you don't have some scrap laying around and do just need to buy a new sheet. These fawns must find the table saw noise relaxing, and after a few quick cuts we have our main box, and then I went through and created a rabbet to recess the back panel later on. I just used my regular 1/8 inch blade for this and bumped the fence over to make multiple passes. On smaller stuff like this, it's still usually faster than taking the time to switch over to a wider dado stack. A router is another good option to create rabbets here as well. To join the box, I'm using pocket holes on the top and bottom pieces. It's funny, making videos I get to hear all sorts of opinions, but just yesterday I had a beginner woodworker reach out for help building a cabinet. He, of course, has heard the bad stigma people have towards pocket holes and wondered what else he should do. I'm like, dude, cabinets are literally what pocket holes are best for in my opinion. Now a piece of fine furniture is another thing, but we really gotta stop making people think pocket screws are some DIY beginner hack entirely. On cabinets, I mean, come on. Quick, strong, and completely hidden, you can't beat that. Anyways, next I moved on to drilling some shelf pin holes with the Craig jig. Now I didn't put a shelf in the cabinet right now, but you never know if I want to in the future, and it's easier to go ahead and drill the holes now rather than laying inside the small cabinet trying to do it down the road. Before assembly, I also applied some iron-on edge banding to the front edges of the 4 pieces. I was trying to get this done quick and almost skipped this, but it's just a personal preference of mine to go ahead and cover those plywood edges. And voila, we have a box. Before adding the back panel, mainly so it's easier for you guys to see, next I installed the drawer slides. Hardware is another thing that can accumulate over time. Now on something like this, of course, if you don't have any on hand, it makes sense to buy just the one pair. But let's say you're building something with 6 or 7 drawers. It's almost always cheaper to go ahead and buy like a 10-pack. That goes for hinges and the drawer pulls as well. And then when you want to build something for yourself, you already have some on hand at a cheaper rate or essentially even free sometimes. To mount these, since I'm doing full overlay fronts, I'm just lining the slide up flush with the front sides of the cabinet and using a scrap piece of wood to make sure both sides are set at the same distance. Now to fill in that back panel. I didn't have any more scrap pieces the right size to use, and my board stretcher hasn't been invented yet, so since this is just a back panel of a shop cabinet, we're gonna 2-piece it. After getting a nice snug fit and verifying the box was square, I could get it nailed in place. Next up was making the drawer box. On all my build plans, the plywood sheets are always laid out nicely for the least amount of cuts and waste. But for me here on this build using scrap, it definitely added some time going through and picking pieces to use most efficiently. Even though these are all leftover pieces, this stuff is like gold now, and I still wanted to use it smartly. Since I'm using this for my drill press and most of my commonly used bits aren't in a case, rather than just throwing them in the big drawer, I wanted to make a sliding tray insert. These are super nice to be able to use up some of that typically wasted airspace inside some drawers. I was able to save my biggest and best piece of plywood for the door and drawer front, and cut them so the grain continued to flow from one another. And then once again got those plywood edges covered with some edge banding. With the main cabinet done, I added the 4 casters, which was the only thing I had to buy specifically for this build. Pretty nice. Lastly was the top. At the beginning of the video when I said this is all less than 1 sheet of 3/4 plywood, that's including these 2 pieces for the top as well. But since I have some and to match my other shop projects, I'm keeping it fancy with some black melamine. Rather than trying to keep the pieces lined up perfect, I like to cut the second piece a little oversized. That way I can come through with a flush trim bit in the router to get them flushed up before applying the black edge banding. Hopefully you enjoyed the build. This is definitely something I wish I would have done a long time ago for my drill press. As always, I appreciate the view and giving the video a thumbs up, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss whatever we get into next.